This is the first lesson for Chapter 4 of the Flipped Classroom. This one is going to focus on tile patterns, which is what we did a lot in Chapter 3. Here you have a tile pattern. Go ahead and pause the video and copy this tile pattern in your notebook and try to figure out how much it's growing by each time using whatever method you want. You could have done multiple different ways to figure out how it's growing. From figure 1 to figure 2, one way you can do it is you can break apart the actual figure into sections. So, for example, I'm going to break apart figure 1 into 2 sections right here. The same thing with figure 2 and with figure 3. When I look at figure 1, I have a 2 by 2, then I have a 3 by 3, and then a 4 by 4. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a whole row right here every time. 2 by 2, and then there's my other column. So here's a column, and here's my row being added every time. So looking at it from there, I kind of have an idea of what's going on. And then I can also look at my second part of my figure, and I see I go from 2 to 4 to 6. So I added these two from figure 1 to figure 2, and then these two from figure 2 to figure 3. So breaking it apart helps me visually see what's being added every single time. Another way you can see what's happening is by making a table, which you're going to need to do tomorrow. As a reminder, when we make our table, our X and we have our Y. Remember, X represents our figure number. Okay, you can relate it back to when we did the iPad activity and you had the stage number. And Y represents the number of tiles in that particular figure number. So for example, figure 1 has 6 tiles, figure 2, figure 3, figure 2 would have, it has 9, 13, and then figure 3 is a 4 by 4, so that's 12, and then I add 6. So my number is going to be 22. So then I can look and see from 6 to 13, I added 7 tiles, which if you count, I actually ended up adding 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then from figure 2 to figure 3, I added 9, which I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So looking at the pattern, try to fill out how many you would have for figure 4 and how many you would have for figure 5. I'll check tomorrow to see if you've added in the number of tiles for figure 4 and figure 5 before we get started with the activity.